Sister Christine, respected teachers, proud parents, and how shall I say, excited members of the Student Council. I'm proud to be here today, and uh, I also feel a bit attached or sentimental about your college because almost everyone in my family studied there. My sister, who never stops talking about the school and the college, my cousins, my nieces, everyone. Now, the responsibility that the members of the Student Council are about to undertake, I assume they're about to undertake now, immediately after this, is one that they would remember all their lives as the first major break in leadership, a first major prominent position that you will be holding, but also remember that everyone else will remember you. So to start with, I would say leadership is more of a responsibility, a bit of a burden rather than any prize. Leadership comes to those who can hold up to the responsibilities that the office, the position demands. Since I have had a rather longish life, I'm 70 now. I guess I can share my experiences with you on this score. And remember, experience is only the name that we give to our past mistakes. In other words, whenever somebody claims to be older than you, you can be sure that he or she has a longer time to make more mistakes. And therefore, at the end of the journey, one could sort of learn from those experiences, as they put it. The position of a leader, as I started with, is more of a responsibility, especially in these troubled times. Especially in these troubled times. We have had difficulties in post-independence India. We have had crisis, but we have never had such a conjunction of crisis as we are passing through today, in the sense that we are a part of the disease-infected world that we have invited unto ourselves. This COVID is a visitation of the cumulative sins that we have cast upon Mother Nature. And that is the bottom line of it all. And the whole of humanity suffers today for the cumulative mistakes that earlier generations and the present have committed upon nature. In addition to that, there are other crises in India as well. But since I am now into politics for no fault of mine over the last few months, I would refrain from elaborating on those crises. You can judge for yourself what we are going through. The only statement that I would make in these troubled times is that whatever they say about Christian education, about the education offered by Christian and minority institutions, I can stand up for them in Parliament and fight till the last breath, saying that whatever they have given me, whatever they have given to millions of students is unparalleled. And therefore, do not confuse an education, a set of values that have been imparted with politics. For God's sake, don't do it. Now, having said that, I would come to the essence of what I feel constitutes a leader's role. A leader is one who listens more than she says. That is the first lesson that I would think we have all learned. There's this misunderstanding that a leader is one who takes the pulpit, takes the microphone, takes the stage, takes the higher ground, and starts pontificating, starts lecturing to others as to what needs to be done according to what she or whoever else thinks best. Sorry, that is not leadership. That is imposition. Remember, many of you have just come out of school and would be facing college in this COVID-inflicted times, where there has been hardly any occasion for academic and non-academic get-togethers for a community of students coming together, which is an essential part of our growing up. In case you feel you are specially targeted by circumstances, let me reassure you, my college days went through a very, very black phase. I was a college student in presidency between 1969 and 72. And from day one till the day I left, which was not 72, it was almost 74, we were pushed back by almost 2 years because of constant political problems, constant killings, constant violence, the Naxalite movement. Be that as it may, we hardly had any occasion for attending classes, at least for large patches of time. But we had the advantage of dedicated teachers who would get us together, even in their small little homes, and teach us in small groups. But that is one benefit that you are deprived of. So in that way, you are a bit worse off than us. We had, of course, no means of communication excepting those black telephones, those heavy handsets, which our parents would ensure that we hardly went near them because they were reserved for elders, as they put it. Now, during this COVID times, what we have learned is how to cope up without the main pillar of human existence. You know why the Homo sapien shot past other hominid or human-like creatures? It was their capacity to work as a team, to communicate with each other, the only specimen, the only species that could speak, that could invent speech and many speeches, that could work together as a group, that could communicate, that could talk to each other, that could quarrel and then come up with new ideas. The physicality of a community meeting is an essential part of human existence. But you have been put to a lot of problems during these last two and a half years. I would pray to God that we get out of it, because the statistics of the day are showing that this phase of attack is on the decline. So make the best out of it. Now, even if you are not able to get together physically in a group or within the college, you have the additional advantage of communicating over the digital media. Remember, people who could never even open a video call 3 years ago are now MA PhDs in video calling. I remember when we used to talk to our parents from foreign countries, our parents would be yelling into the phone and the whole neighborhood listened because there were no other means of communication. Now video calls bring us closer together, whether you are in Iceland, Ireland, Canada, or India. So you have this little advantage. But the short point that we need to get to is that within the possibilities of communication, within the limitations of physical get-togethers, we have to still remain together. And we shall be together, irrespective of the ruptures on human communication and human bonding. We have proven to all the forces of negativism that despite such trying times, we have managed to remain normal. We have managed to go through crisis without surrendering to negative forces. During this period of leadership, if I may put it, you would be subjected to a lot of problems. You'd be subjected to differing views. You'd be subjected even to ridicule. A leader is one who passes through periodic phases of ridicule, of argument. Mercifully, Loreto College has this great tradition of containing dissidents within civilized limits. Presidency did not. Presidency had the opposite tradition of permitting dissidents to break out into, well, very severe forms. So this is a time when we need to understand each other. Our leader is only a catalyst. She is a catalyst. She is a guide. She is a stimulator. She listens, she conveys, she assimilates, she understands, she empathizes. And that is the last one that I said is the most sterling quality of a leader. To empathize, to understand why is the other person saying, behaving, or opinionating in her way. The world is a very complex arena where we shall have differences, where we shall have different opinions, different attitudes, different backgrounds. And the college is the first major platform after school, of course, after high school, of course, where we enter that phase of maturity enough to understand that we have to live together in spite of differences. Remember, it is those differences that make us so great, that make us so colorful. Had we all agreed with each other, we'd be a boring lot of homogenized students, homogenized humans that would not make any progress because everything would be hunky-dory. So dissidence, arguments, differences of opinion, spontaneity in expression, new events, arguments about new events, arguments about new paths. This is essential not only for the student council, not only for your college, but for human existence. You are going through a rehearsal of human life. And you are in a role of a guide, a mentor, somebody who has to empathize. And if you can play out that role without overt expression of exasperation, I use these words when you come across these phases, remember these words, when every leader goes through this period of utter exasperation, wondering why on earth did I let myself into this mess. But that is the best part of leadership. The frustration that overtakes a leader, the frustration that overtakes a flock is what actually guides the human race to take one more step forward, hopefully the correct step forward. We have this auto-rectificatory process that can only come through communities, through discussions, debates, stimulated and guided by leadership. Remember, your college has one of the finest traditions in India and the world. Your college inculcates virtues that you will remember. You may at times be a little fed up of the rigid structure that Loreto insists. I have seen several generations I have seen this for the last 50 years, this sort of a feeling coming up at times. But those who leave the portals of the college remember the college for what package was bestowed unto them. So, members of the Student Council, I welcome you, I congratulate you, and I would encourage you to take up your role with the controlled enthusiasm with which I spoke about. It is the best of the opportunity that you can get at your age, so make full use of it. You are in the best of college environments, whether physical or digital, make the best of it. And give unto the community more than what you got. And that is what the community will remember you for. That is what your friends will remember you for. When they're old like me at 70 and doddering, they will remember the council leader, the council member who stood up for them, who understood them, who pacified them and led them along without understanding that she's actually leading. With these words, I congratulate you once again. I thank the teachers, and I'm sure they'll be guiding you. I look forward to your parents being with you as they have always been. They have been with you through one of the most critical points of our economy, of our society. So they will be there with you. I am also a parent. My little boy is only 40, but never mind. So with these words, I wish you all the best, and thank you, Sister Christine and the staff. Thank you.